Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the co-feature on Saturday's Saratoga card is race number 3, the Grade 2 National Museum of Racing Hall of Fame Stakes. Let's take a look at the field. 3-year-olds going 1 1/8 on the inner turf. 6 entered for turf. The 4 money moves entered main track only. Mike, we're usually expecting Chad Brown to have the strongest poker hand in these turf races, but it appears Christophe Clement's holding all the aces in the Hall of Fame with the 7 decorated Invader at even money on David Aragona's line and the 5 Gufo at 5-2.
Yeah, Clement does have 2 very strong contenders. I mean, I think there's an argument to be made that Decorated Invader, at least at this stage of the game, is the best 3-year-old turf horse in the country. We'll see if he can carry that on, but his stablemate's been pretty good too.
Speed of the race expected to come from one of the longer priced horses as we take a look at the Timeform US pace projector, and I agree wholeheartedly that the 3 Gets Smokin', who's made the lead in most of his starts, is probably going to get to the frontier. It's just that he was run down last time out by Domestic Spending when he had an easy lead, and I just couldn't see much of an excuse.
No, me either. He's certainly a pretty talented horse, and I do think he'll be on a clear lead early in this spot. I couldn't talk myself into him being good enough to beat this field, especially going 9 furlongs.
As for Domestic Spending, we see him lingering near the back of the pack. This is a Chad Brown trained runner, perfect 2 for 2 in his career. Going to have to improve from a buyer's standpoint as he steps up in class to face some very good 3-year-old turf horses, but has done nothing wrong from 2 starts. He kicks hard in the lane.
He really does finish really, really strongly in his races. I liked his debut. He was very green, I thought, in that race, but he just did what he had to do to win that race. Last time, he was really, really impressive in there, Dan. He came with a furious late finish. It looked like he had no chance to get there, but he kicked in really hard late in that race. This horse, I don't know about the 1 1/8 for him, and maybe this is just too tough a spot too soon, but this horse is good.
1 1/8, no issue for the 2. A Moon Over Miami for Bill Mott. This horse beat older horses at Churchill Downs going 1 1/8. I thought that was a nice ride by Joe Talamo. Had this horse in between horses, kept him inside in the stretch. A hole opened up, and then Moon Over Miami settled it once he saw the hole. That being said, these are tougher horses, and Decorated Invader had his number in the Cutler Bay earlier this year.
Yeah, this is a much, much tougher race. I like you, thought he ran well last time, but he's taken a huge step up in class for this.
Get Smokin', beaten by Decorated Invader in the Cutler Bay, beaten by Domestic Spending in that allowance race. Tom Bush is a very, very good trainer. Get Smokin' gets Jose Ortiz for this spot. Jose rode him to a good second-place finish in the Kitten's Joy, and it's really about getting him to the front, trying to back down the fractions, and perhaps he could hold on for a piece.
Yeah, we'll see if he can do it. I mean, he's a good horse. There's no doubt about that. His Cutler Bay, even though he was no match for Decorated Invader, that was a strong pace, and he did well to be third, I thought, that day. Last time, he was just no match. We'll see if he can do better, Dan. I respect his speed. I just feel like this is going to be too tough for him.
As of right now, of the 2 Clement trained runners, I would say Decorated Invader is the more brilliant, the more naturally talented. Gufo, the number 5, is proven at the 1 1/8. He really likes it. He's won his last 4 starts, and he's 3 for 3 with Lasix. Let's watch his victory in the Kent last time out, going the 1 1/8 distance. He's swinging to the outside right now, and he just grinds this field down. Buyer speed figures, hard to argue. 90, 91. This horse, you get the feeling, needs a little bit of pace. He doesn't have Decorated Invader's tactical speed, but he'll be running late at this distance.
Yeah, the distance could be key for him. We'll see what happens. I like the way the Clements handled him. I actually really liked his 3 wins at Gulfstream Park. I thought he ran really well in all of those races. I wasn't as taken with his Kent last time. But you know what? He got it done at the end of the day. He was off a little bit of a layoff, and the 9 furlongs probably works to his advantage.
Ever Dangerous is the number 6, beaten by Gufo 2 starts backing the English Channel, beaten by Domestic Spending last time out in that allowance race. He was a little bit wide that day. The buyers are going the wrong way. He does have a little bit of tactical speed, and he's going to be a good price for good connections.
Yeah, that's all those things are true. He's going to be a good price, and I think he'll get a good trip in this race. I just wonder if this is the right spot for him right now. His debut was fine. with a perfect trip. I haven't really been taken by his last 2 races.
And the horse to beat is Decorated Invader. I agree with your analysis that as of right now, he is the best 3-year-old turf horse in the country. Let's watch his victory in the Grade 2 Pennine Ridge. They gave him the rail on the turn. Joel Rosario took it. He shoots on through, and this was a good, solid performance for Decorated Invader. Career best 93 Beyer speed figure. Sure, the trip worked out, but his tactical speed allows him to get these kind of trips. I guess the real question mark is, will he get the 1 1/8, or will he be as effective at a 1 1/8 as he's been at shorter distances?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is the real question for a horse who's going to be a short price. Personally, just the way he finishes his races, I'm not really worried about a 1 1/8 for him, but I guess we'll see. I just feel like the fact that he got right up close to the pace last time in a very paceless race, I think that bodes very well for this horse going forward. If he gets that kind of trip in this race, I just think he's going to be hard to beat once again.
It looks like he can get any kind of trip. He's just that tactical. We take a look at our picks for the Grade 2 Hall of Fame. Decorated Invader, way the horse to beat. I'm curious to see what Chad Brown has with the 1 domestic spending. I'm going 1-7. You're going 7-1. We have the same super in different order.
Yeah, I didn't ultimately decided not to go against Decorated Invader, but like you, I'm very interested to see what domestic spending does, because he has been impressive in his first 2 starts.
It's the Grade 2 National Museum of Racing Hall of Fame, one of 2 graded stakes races in Saratoga on Saturday. Race number 3 is an approximate post time of 2:18 Eastern. Good luck.